I'm Maria, and I'm studying to become a life coach specializing in narcissistic abuse and trauma recovery. I hope my videos are helpful, informative, and validating for you. Whether you are presently in a narcissistic abusive relationship or have been, or maybe you have a friend or family member that presently is or has been, or you have a friend or family member that is a narcissist, a boss, a colleague, a roommate. Doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. So today I'm going to talk about why the victim doesn't leave. And yes, I talked about this last week, but there's so much involved with this that I'm talking about again today. And today it's about directed to family and friends. The victim still can listen. It is helpful. And I do speak to the victim a little bit in this video. So stay tuned. So one of the things they do is threats. And they do multiple different kinds of threats. But today I want to focus on one type of threat. So they'll go to the friend or family member and do a smear campaign against the victim. They are compulsive liars and master manipulators. They are slick at it, and they're like con artists when it comes to manipulation. Do not listen to them. Do not respond. The victim may stay because there's a lack of finances, and this is very common. Or they have children with the narcissist and has been with them for a while. It is difficult to leave when it's familiar, even when it's abusive. Unfamiliar is terrifying, even though it's freedom. So hopefully that helps you understand it. And I want to explain something called the Stockholm Syndrome. So in 1973 in Stockholm, Sweden, there was a bank robbery. And the bank robbers were emotionally abusing the hostages or victims. When they were released, these victims were defending the bank robbers. It's a psychological thing that goes on, and this happens in narcissistic abusive relationships. Another thing, the abuse is gradual. The narcissist will love bomb, and love bomb is basically being nice to them, saying they're amazing, they're their soulmates, doing grandiose gifts to them, just treating them like a king or queen. But once they think they've got the victim hooked, then they start to degrade, and the victim thinks, oh, I found myself in abuse and I can't get out now. So I'm hoping that family and friends will see this and understand. So when you see this, you need to provide unconditional positive regard, unconditional love, non-judgment, be patient, and then hold the negative comments like, get over it, or why don't you just leave or move on? This is so difficult for the victim. They have already had so much blame shifted onto them and accused that now they feel like that their supports in their life are against them and accusing them. And it actually makes them stay longer. And oftentimes the victim will leave and go back 7 times. And yes, it's frustrating for family and friends. It's hard to be patient. It's hard to hold the comments. It's hard to be non-judgmental. But try to do so because it's for the best interest of the victim. So you need to believe them and what they're telling you. And the victim often starts to believe that they are the problem when they're not. And it's because of the manipulation from the narcissist. Just validating them and believing them is so crucial. Provide that unconditional positive regard. They make mistakes and the abuser accuses them, but realize they're in a difficult situation. Be patient. The process is long and they go back and go back and go back. But if you stick it out with them, they may leave in the end. So how do you help them exit when they finally want to exit? Help them put an emergency plan in place. Help them find a place where they can go that is undisclosed to the narcissist. And no matter what, do not tell the narcissist where they're at. There's safe homes out there if you don't have any place to go. Have an emergency bag, a stash of cash if possible, and essential documents off-site. Ensure financial independence. This is very difficult. Most women do not, or men sometimes do not have that in place. Well, in some governments and jurisdictions, they offer a payout if you leave domestic violence. I know in my area, they offer $10,000 if you show proof of abuse within the first year after leaving. There are helps out there. Document the abuse. This is so essential, especially if the police get involved or the courts. They'll lie. And this saves a lot of stress and heartache for the victim because you have proof. Document and date it when things have happened. It also may help with the healing process, possibly, not in every situation. Seek help for children and pets. They are often traumatized and abused themselves. Make sure they're safe. Suggest counseling or therapy for the victim. A lot of times they can't afford it. Here again, I have gone to my municipality, showed proof of address, and they offered free counseling. And I think they may offer group therapy as well. In some places they will. Group therapy is amazing. It helps so much. So I highly recommend that. And find other local resources. They are out there. Build a support system. They need this in place. There is proof that it is less traumatizing for them if they have support. It's easier for them to leave if they have unconditional love and non-judgmental support in place. And I tried to spread it around when I was in it. I had somebody I could call late at night, somebody in the middle of the day for something specific. You can have that set around. And set the boundaries with the narcissist. No contact. Gold standard, no contact. What does that mean? It means block on the phone, block on social media, block with friends and family, every way possible. Do not respond to them, even if they get a hold of you. Do not respond. Because remember, they're master manipulators. And also set boundaries with the victim. Yes, the victim. The victim does need support, but they'll wear you out and burn you out because they need support so much. I know I did. I needed 24/7 support. This is why I spread it around. I tried to help. I still was draining, and I know I was. So, and I had amazing support in my family and friends. I had unusual support. Not all of you have that, but do the best you can with it. There is help out there more than you realize. Protect yourself from the narcissist tactics. They can use a smear campaign against family and friends as well. They punish. This is why it's important to do the gold standard, no contact, do not react. Educate yourself about the complexities of narcissistic abuse, and it's unique and very complex, like the love bombing, which I explained, like they're just pour on all this wonderful, lavish, grandiose activities at first, and then they taper it off and start becoming abusive. Or they do breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing is when they give the victim a little bit of what they want, but then starve them. And this keeps the victim hooked, addicted, and the control is put in place. Don't blame the victim for being addicted to the abuser. This is the abuser's fault. The victim did not choose this. And there's also the cycle of violence, and that's where they do lavish gifts and treat the victim like a king or queen, and then they go to being very abusive, and then they apologize and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again. Then they go back to the lavish gifts and treat him like a king or queen, and it goes around and around and around. And that keeps the victim hooked in, addicted, and in control. Remember, they didn't choose the addiction. The abuser did. So learn about all of that. So when they finally decide to leave, there's grief involved. So acknowledge the loss with them. Yes, they grieve the abuser because it's like the Stockholm Syndrome. It's hard to understand. Help them ride the waves of grief. They long. Let them be in the here and now. They long for them. That's okay. They can work through that emotion. They tend to get really depressed, and if they do, help them seek professional help. They can tend to get addictions. Try to be there for them and be accountability support to them if they have addictions. And help them forgive themselves. I know it was hard for me. I wondered why I kept going back. Well, I have a video on that about why you keep attracting a narcissist. And I'd encourage you to watch that. I will have the link below. So I want to talk about my personal experience. And this isn't research I've done. This isn't studying I've done. It's my personal experience. So I had people say, why don't you just leave? Oh, that bothered me so much. Or don't you know he's just using me or using you? Yes, I knew more than anyone else. And it was like rubbing salt in the wound. I felt like if they were criticizing me, I was already blame shifted so much. I thought everything was my fault. And then here my supports around me were blaming me too. And I thought, wow, I'd just stay. So when you do that, it encourages the person to stay longer. And I did not feel heard, and I desperately needed the support. So I have an example of a couple weeks ago, roughly. I have this man in my life. It's like he's like a father to me, and he was with me when I met my last boyfriend, who is a narcissist. And he saw me go through all the abuse, and he knows about my history. And he said, I could see the abuse right away, but you couldn't. And I still don't think you could. And so I want to say that was hurtful to me. Even though I've been out of it for a while, please hold the comments. And I have spent thousands of hours studying narcissism, watching other YouTube creators talk about narcissism, because I said enough is enough. I want to learn this. I don't want to ever go back to narcissistic abuse again. I'm done. Well, that did help me, and I learned a lot. This is why I have this YouTube channel. And it also validated me, because I thought, oh, well, I'm not at fault for that. That wasn't my fault. Oh, that helps me so much. So I want to help victims realize that it's not their fault, help them stay away, help them leave, help educate family and friends. This is what this video is today, and help educate the general public. All those three categories of people can find help in this video today. Let me know what's helped you. Make comments. Let me know if you're in the middle of leaving, or you have a friend that's in the middle of leaving, or they have left, or what's worked, what hasn't. If you're the general public and you find this very educational and helpful, let me know. If you like my video, please follow and subscribe, and like this video as well. I will see you next time.